God, one hell of a year. The most tears, the most people I have loved dearly, and the biggest joy. It's like I don't quite know what to feel anymore. It's all part of the same, it's all part of the same package, you know?
All good stuff.
It's all great stuff. It's all great stuff. It's all coming together.
Yeah.
This has been the best weekend. God, it's just the best, you know? Thank you, Mercury retrograde. I think that may be the first time I've ever said it in my life.
Yes.
Thank you and bless you. The people that I love that it's brought back into my life, that I haven't seen in 20 years or more, wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay. I gotta adjust myself to the room here. Okay. We're good.
Yes,
I have so many plants hollering at this point that we've got to bring things in and settle it down, or I won't be able to talk with anything in chipmunk chatter. Yeah, it will be, because every plant in the world that is an adaptogen is coming to scream at me the last 2 days. And I know that adaptogens are, I started working with adaptogens when Chernobyl, because all around Russia and stuff they were finding plants, and when I would, when I would feel them, it was like, holy mother. The energy of them as helpers, they were like concentrating. So all of us who have been through our lives, who have walked this place in our lives, have now been concentrated into an adaptogen. And it's to help ourselves adapt and to help others adapt. So here we are at this place in our life where we can say, whoa, take a look at all that stuff. And how did you do that? And look at the strength you're carrying, whether you know it or not. We have become adaptogen plants, adaptogen beings, with all that we're going through and all we're going through. So, where to start with this? Okay, this is where I'm going to start. Because I can't only kind of tell a story, you know? Right now, everything is so open that you got to stay, okay, this is where this started. A few years ago, when I was in Tucson, and my darling Katie there was with me, and across like a parking lot, as we're walking, something is flashing and hitting me, boom, 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 in the third eye. And I said, what the hell was that? So we walked over, and it was a photograph. And I've never had a photograph speak to me like that. And Katie grabbed me by the back of my pants because I was going to go down to start channeling the plant. Boom. It said to me, the time is coming when there will be so much anger and fear and anxiety on the planet that man will not be able to move it through his body into the earth the way it always has been, and your livers and kidneys will start to be a problem.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking at this plant, and I said, and it's saying to me, I'm seeing dandelion, I'm seeing, well, I can even pass the picture back, because that's the only way I can show you that way. There's a photograph on in there with it, on the plant. And I said, what is this plant? And this guy came out. I went, oh my God, it's Miles from Alaska. He's a lunatic man who lives out in the way out, and knows all the plants. Knows he lives off the land, and he has all of his life.
It doesn't.
So a big piece of soil had come down, whole big piece, and behind it was mastodon bones, which he had brought to the show. So this plant, I said, what is this plant? And he said, I brought it because I thought you would know. And I said, well, it's telling me this, and it's saying that it's ancestor of dandelion and cat's paw and all the things that are, all the ones that are for liver and kidneys. And he said, well, it's 10 feet tall, and it's as big around as my fist. And he said, and I'll sell it to you. I said, don't you touch it. Don't touch that plant, because look at this. It's got seed pods coming, there's baby ones coming up out of the ground. That plant had not been around since before the Ice Age.
Wow.
And that's what I expected and I said, just let Katie take the picture, and, cause I didn't have my phone as always. And, I'll make medicine from the photograph. And I did. And when I went to take the connection with the medicine, what happened was that I expected to go back to the time before the Ice Age. And it took me back so far that I couldn't even believe before, all the way back, pre-dinosaur, back, to where the earth was not conscious. And I never could have even imagined a point in time where the earth was not conscious. It just didn't exist in my mind. But then in connecting with that energy, I understood that man and the earth both were brought to consciousness at the same time. We're all one and the same being. We're all part of each other. And that those of us who have done this work and those of you who will be doing this work have done it before, and we're planet seeders. It's not just the earth. It's been many, and that's what this is about. So she opened up that entire line of energy all the way back. Now we're wide open, and we don't have, there's no boundaries. The timelines are open. 4 years ago, the Stones were going to Tucson, kept saying timelines. And it didn't make sense to me. It was like timelines. What the hell are timelines? And what are you talking about? And now I understand. All of that has opened. Shh, we have no boundaries. There are no boundaries in time from all of the lives you have lived, all the times you have been here, all the times of who you are. There are no boundaries between any and all of you. And people are losing it because they're thinking they've lost their identities. They're thinking they can't take control of this. They have no idea of any of that, and they're coming unglued because there's nothing there that feels like they're holding them in. So they're trying to hang on for control, and control is not going to take it there, because what's going to happen with control is it's going to give it to you bigger. It's going to give it to you bigger and bigger and bigger until you can surrender, because it's there to help us. It's not there to beat us over the club with a club over the head. It's there to help us let go. So we're going to be doing a bunch of that, but what I've got to do is clear the room, because I'm getting, what we're going to do is start with that, because it's getting too cold all over the place. We're going to, okay, and yeah, you guys can, it's big and small enough group, we can probably just, you guys can do it if you want, and I can do some. What's going to happen is I don't have time to pass around and have everybody put it all on and do that. So what I do is I take my sprays, and we just spray the hell out of you. And I take the powders, and we're going to fling them all away until we raise the vibration in the room up to the point that then I don't have to try to choke over, because I'm picking up everybody. You know, we're all going to be in the same place. Okay. Okay, you want to come up and grab some of these? Yeah. Anything you want, just spray them on them. Okay, this is, first of all, something we got either blue sage dragon or the blue dragon. What have you got?
Blue dragon.
Okay, not the grandmother's yet, let's clear them first.
I don't remember seeing blue sage.
Okay, here's blue dragon, so it doesn't matter.
Oh,
You can
blue
use it.
sage.
Okay, if you guys will go and just spray, walk around the edges and spray it into the room. We'll clear things first, and then I'm gonna go with this. We can, any of them, that's wonderful. And I'll just tell you a little bit, real quick, about what we're doing here. What we're doing here, this batch of plant and stone, my partners worked in the hospital, both of them, for 37 years. They would come home every night. I would have to drag that energy of fear and anger and anxiety off of them, and it was wearing the hell out of me because there was so much in the hospital. So the plants and the stone said, well, you don't have to do it all, you know. And I forget that sometimes. I think it's all about me. And so they gave me what plants to go in, what stones to go in. That's already lifted it. Okay, that's beautiful. Okay, it's beautiful. You're all beautiful. Okay, so this is here. You want to take this one? Yeah. So this one here that you're going to take is destabilizing old fear and pain. Yep. Give Josh a good shot of that. Here, Earth the Dreamer, Light the Fire, we can do too. Okay, let's do destabilizing, and then we're gonna, and you can come along behind and do Earth the Dreamer, Light the Fire. Yeah, the whole room, you guys are gonna get it. Do you see what is feeling happening in here already with the oxygen, the lightness? This is what plant spirit medicine is. Plant spirit medicine, stone spirit medicine. There's actually nothing in these sprays but the vibration of the plant, the vibration of the stone, and a little bit of brandy in the water just to keep the vibration from turning into any bacteria. So, and to hold the vibration there, because that's what works best. So, this is what plant spirit medicine is. It is raising your own vibration up to the point that you can hear, so that you can hear. You get all your own shit out of the way, and you can hear the plants, you can hear what you need, and you trust, and you can trust what comes to you. And this has been a lifetime of work. This is my 51st year of medicine making out into the world. And it's sped up so fast, and I know it has for all of you. This has been such a hard year. We've had so much loss of people that I love so much. But at the same time, there's an amazing joy because I know where we're healing to and where we're going. And yay, yeah. Okay, so what else do we need here? Did we do them all?
We did sprays, but not powder.
Okay, did we do the Blackbird Dragon Wakes?
We did not do Summery Angels.
Okay, it doesn't matter, just, okay, whatever you want to get, we're just going to spray them around. We got time, and I'm going to put some here too. This is Blueberry Dragon.
What's this one?
This is Song of the Angels.
Oh, I need another shot.
Yeah, some of the angels. This is amazing good stuff because Megan brought me, and it's myrrh, made from myrrh flowers, and it's the only place in the world I have ever even heard or seen of myrrh flowers, and it was a gift from Megan, and wow, they're high and sweet. And somebody's got some there spraying around. I don't know. Anyway, I think we got all the stuff. We're going to just throw some powder at you. And it's such a small group here. This is amazingly wonderful. You're perfect. But you're really going to get drenched. Yay! Okay. Okay. Oh, and this is something I want to say. For all of you who were here in the spring, who were at the convention center, what happened was I hadn't planned on doing bear medicine, but when I got in the room, it kept screaming. So I sent Lena back to get it, and I said, well, hell, I don't know, we're just gonna line everybody up here. So, and we started with I made everybody line up and put their hands on each shoulders all the whole way, like we were doing the hokey, you know, or, so, then I put drops in between of the, this is wrestle, I'm sorry, with what they're hollering about. Anyway, the merge, I've got to concentrate, guys. The bear medicine we put there. And after I lined everybody up, and we did the bear medicine on the floor, a man said to me, who was in the line, said, I'm a bear singer. Do you mind if I call Bear? And he, oh my God. I think he was Lakota, but I wasn't sure. It was most Amazing, amazing thing. So I forgot to tell people what the bear was for and what we were doing this for, because it was just, whoa. So what happened with the bear, it's called Merge Bear Dreams the Earth. And I had used it with the picture plant from the ancient grandmothers, because they wanted to be together, but they wouldn't go together. Because the master plant teachers, this is the deal. They really know themselves, and it could be egotistical in some degree, but I didn't really mean that. You know, they don't like to work with others. They want your attention, and they want you to focus on what they're doing. They don't want mixed with anything. They don't want to work with others. They are their own existence in the world. So that's part of the thing with this ancient grandmother plant too. So Bear Dreams the Earth. Anybody want to throw some around here and say a little prayer for your life as you're doing it, of what you want to bring into the earth for healing? Boy, we used some of that last time. Let's do the Golden Rose Fish Star. And then I think we're done. We're good. Except for I'm going to walk around with the Heddenbergite, and then we're going to talk about it, and then we're going to take this brew and do it. Go ahead. Okay. Just kind of fling some around. Yeah, you don't have to get everybody. I'm putting on you guys Heddenbergite and the Message of Water, and we're going to talk about this. That was lovely. And a lot of you have been playing with this at the booths too, so you know what. We don't have to drench you with it. You. Yeah. We're getting you. You want some lunch or no? Okay. Okay. So, let me get my paper so I'm not getting off track here. Okay. Adaptogens, they've been screaming in my head, so I just wrote some of them down as words here to try to make myself remember something. But wood betony, holy basil. And then one of the main ones, and I had to call her into the medicine. Okay, I had to call him into the medicine because it's not time to harvest it yet, and it's Devil's Club. And it is so important right now. So I called it into the base with the Heddenbergite because, oh man, protection. It's talking about, what it was telling me about is the feeling that we need protection, and we do need protection. We need to bring our energy up. We need to activate that solar plexus so that we're our own warrior is speaking out in this. But we have to know when to lay the protection down, because this is what the plant has shown me with this. Thorns. It's thorns everywhere, and that's what it is. And they would call it Devil's Club because it would keep negative energy at bay and away from you. And there's so much to it. I mean, and it just goes on and on about what it will do for you, for cancers, for diabetes, I mean, just on and on. It's a huge and amazing plant that is an adaptogen. When it gets really, really tall, it bends over down to the ground, and then it starts rooting from the branch that is down into the earth. And when it gets rooted into the earth, the thorns fall off. It surrenders to the earth. And that's the time when it is the best medicine. Because it has its own power. It doesn't feel that it needs the protection because it carries it in it and it knows it. And beads, I'm making medicine. They'll have medicine in the fall for it. But I'm making beads out of it too, and the pieces and the Native American cultures all over our country. The only place that it grows is in Canada, Alaska, Washington, and Oregon. And it is in the same family as ginseng. And it is an amazing and powerful plant. So the Native Americans make beads out of it. They make all their medicines for cancers, for all of the things that they carry. And its strength brings your strength into your solar plexus. And everything we're dealing with right now is about bringing our own power into that solar plexus, because we have it, and it is our own armor. So they cut beads out of it and wear them. They put them above their doors. They use them for clearing, as like sage, and clearing negative energies away and out from people that need to be cleared. And I'm very excited about it. I just can't wait. So I'm working with it on the metaphysical level, but in the summer I will be working on it with it on the physical level too, and we'll have some of that together with it. And I won't take much. It'll be one little branch, because that's what all we need to take when you're doing plant spirit medicine, because you're connected directly with the plant. And there will come a time, and I know this in my life, it has been in our past, in the time of Lemuria, we won't need to take anything from the plants. Nothing will have to be taken from the earth. We will be living on spirit alone. And it's getting closer and closer. And plants, when you connect with them, when you can raise your vibration up to that point and get the crap clear out of the way, what happens is you can ask them to come in. So you don't have to have everything growing in your yard, everything growing in your forest. You ask for them and they come in. It used to be I could call on one plant at a time and say, okay, we're working on muscle tension, and we're working on, and I would call a plant in to make a medicine with that. But now, when I ask, the world explodes with plants saying, oh, I do that, only different. And that's the place we are all at. You don't have to learn, we don't have the time anymore right now to learn by book work only. We don't have that time. I've been doing this. My spiritual father was Richard Raymond, who did the Whole Earth catalogs. You guys are all too young to know that. But it was before computers. It was where we all went to in the 70s for our knowledge. They were huge, great big honking things. And I have lived that life since then. Since the 70s, I have, lived the bulk of my life with no electricity or water and hauling stuff, and I still haul my water, and it takes a village now to do it for me, but we're all getting to that. It's speeding up faster and faster and faster. Our consciousness is rising. There have been so much grief, but there's so much. When your heart opens, it's like all this, your consciousness is rising so much faster, and I hear so much more, and see so much more, and have more and more compassion all the time in that grief, because it's speeding up faster and faster and faster, because the timelines of everything are open. And here we are.
And the earth itself is shifting too.
Yes,
right?
the earth is shifting. We're the same consciousness. She's shifting as fast, and she has no way to make boundaries like she did before. And she's like, the consciousness is going, whoa, what's going on here? So it is. We're all of us, the earth we walk upon, the air above us, all of it. So the Hedenberg Guide, I have been praying for years to find a stone that I could afford, because they were staggeringly expensive, and to find some that I could afford to bring back for everybody a little bit. And this year, everything is coming from the last few years from Mongolia. My favorite miner from Mongolia is, okay, I hear you, is bringing, brought them in. He hadn't been there for 3 years, and he brought them all in. And so I got his 2 big ones, and I'm becoming the dragon, which is the water dragon that I am, and I'm keeping them. So I said, okay, I need to get some for everybody else, so because I'm not giving them this. We're not gonna let one person walk off with that. So I make medicine out of the big one, and that's what we're doing. And I also found like 10 small ones, but I think, do we have one here? We have one.
We have one left. at the
Okay,
booth.
but this is what they are, and we'll put it on top of the brew and charge it. That's my last one. So yeah, they've gone out into the world to do the work they're supposed to do, and the medicine is doing the same for all of us. And what we're gonna do here and drink this is gonna shift and change it all, because what Hedenbergite is about is bringing. Oh, okay, Bear just said, "Well, I do that." So it's bringing all of that timeline of everything, and it's bringing it all together and lining it right up in us. So what started all this was a couple of months ago. There was an explosion on the sun, and I feel things before they hit the earth. You know, it's that electromagnetic energy just goes, and I'm just electric, and grouchy, because it hits your adrenals, you know. So this wasn't like anything I had ever felt before. It was, so I got online to look on spaceweather.com, which tells us those things, and there was a huge arc that was over the sun, almost like a full rainbow, and it was like, what is this? And inside of it was like little drops of water that were sparking everywhere, and it felt like it was raining sunshine. And so I got on and looked what the scientists were saying, and they said they had no idea whatsoever. They had no idea. They'd never had anything like that happen in recorded time, and they hadn't a clue. So a few weeks later, I read a scientific article that talked about they have now discovered that our entire universe and all the universes, everything in space, the biggest element is water. We are born from water. Water was the first thing on the planet. It carries and absorbs all of everything, the memories of everything since the beginning of time. It is our most ancient grandmother. And it is the water. So this is called Hedenbergite and the Voices of Water, because water right now is our teacher, tremendously. It's helping us to move things through, to help let go, help us surrender, so that we can let go of all of that and be in a space where we can raise our vibrations to hear. Now, let me see if there's anybody else that I've left out here, and then I got some other stories to tell you. Okay, the Devil's Club is saying fierce warrior in slow motion. So maybe it's a dance you have to do cautiously because of all the thorns that you learn to dance with it, and don't expect it to be immediately unless you jab yourself. But you know, because it's a thorny, and it is okay. That's why you're saying that to me. Several years ago, I had a tree come to me and was speaking for a 3-month period of time, and speaking to me as a channeling. And it taught me things I had never even imagined about trees. Never could have even imagined. And I could only hold a tiny bit of it, because when my vibration goes up that high that I'm hearing what they're saying, it's like if somebody can't grab it and record it, and it ends up blowing telephones and everything else. Boom, we can't get it down, and they'll say, "Oh God, I'll remember that," and then they'll say, "Oh, I don't remember that." So I could only bring back part. And what the trees call themselves, root and branch. Root being the elder, branch being the younger. And they kept saying to me, root and branch remember the mother. And it took me a while. I can be a bit slow at times, and being human. And it said, root and branch remember the mother, over and over and over. And I said, well, I do remember the mother. I honor the mother. You know, this is what and it said, no, root and branch remember the mother. And what I understood was every tiny bit of a tree that comes up, every tiny branch that comes out, has the whole solid consciousness of every tree on the planet. They come in totally conscious with a memory of all of it. And they say that man is the same, only we've forgotten and we must remember. They say man is the only one that speaks all of the languages and can move between everything, and we've disconnected and chosen not to remember that, and that we must, because that's what we're here for now, and the earth needs us. So, after all of these conversations with the tree, I had a medicine woman who's an Amara, which is pre-Inca, and I hate to always say Titicaca. That is not how it's pronounced, and I hate it saying that, but I can't spit it out how they do. I can't do it. So that's what I mean. She's from up there. She's been a medicine woman in her family all the way back to all the villages around, and she's a coca leaf reader. So she comes and stays with me. And she came and was there and was doing some readings for people, and the door got left open on my cabin. I had signs up because my cats never go outside. Because I had bear in the last few months. I've had bear on the porch twice, and cougar on the wild cam, so they're on my path and stuff all the time, so they don't get let out. And someone came and was doing something there and opened the door and let my cats out. So Tootie trotted up and said, "Nine-Nine's outside and she won't come back." So I went, oh my God. So I got on the phone and called all my friends who were animal communicators and said, because Nine-Nine's very difficult, she is mine only and in anybody else's face. So they started working on her and she wasn't going to come back. She wouldn't have come back at all. We were searching, calling everywhere. And she said, "I'm not coming back. I don't like what's going on in there because she's releasing all that crap and I don't like that." And So finally I sat down there, and just as it started to get dark, because my friends were all calling her and telling her, "Robin, where are you?"
Robin's here.
Oh, there you are. My friend Robin's an animal communicator, and she had told her, "You have to go in because you're going to get eaten, if you stay out." So I sat down there and called her, and finally, and I sang her baby song over and over and over for about a half an hour. I'm out there singing her baby song until she finally came back. Well, in trying to find her, what we found was right down by my cabin, a tree had appeared that was not there before. It's the largest tree on the 40 acres. It's an ancient cedar. And I've had hundreds of people experience it that knew, and at the beginning we had some of us were under her, and she disappeared while they were under it, but then she came back, and until it was kind of craziness on the land until because we had a gateway opening. And not just here, but because I'm there all the time and I've never driven, I stay there most of the time, and I saw it. But I also know that it's happening all over in places in the world. Gateways are opening until that next round. So what happened to me was, after that, we got a tree in the yard, and I would say, "Yeah, sure, this is really true, but there's a tree in my yard, I can't deny it." That tree was not there, and it shifted. It took 5 of us to get around it first. I did a ritual there, a class that got the energy huge, and there were 10 of us around it. And then it went back to 5. So things were shifting and moving until things could solidify here in this time period. Now it's cool. But we went to Tucson. I had taken a nosedive on some mud, carrying stuff for a friend, and really blew out my knee, so I'm in crutches. And I was still involved with that energy of what was going on at that time. So I started what I call stepping sideways. I would disappear when I was with people. Boom, I was there, boom, I was not. And boom, they were there, and then they were out. And then what the hell was that about? Because like everything else is the same out there. And it's the same way with that next realm over. It's that step sideways. It's the same land. It's the same, and Robin, you experienced that too when we were doing that ritual. Yeah, that it's the same energy. I mean, same, it looks the same, but not the same beings or the same people are in it. So, that settled finally, but during that day when I'm on crutches, Kate and Mary were taking some boxes of stones that I had bought back to the truck, and then they just didn't come back. And it's like, what the hell? I waited around. So I just kept hobbling, because, and when they came back to get me, I was gone, and the guy, the setup was there with the stones were gone, and they thought, what the hell? So they had to track the whole place to find me. And what found me were some stones that I didn't bring one, I call root and branch, and a lot of you have seen them there. They were petrified pieces of an ancient tree from the white sands in Egypt. And they just went, whoa. And he only had a handful, and I bought them, and I said, I need more. And he said, oh, I don't think he wants to get rid of any more. It was a guy who was working there for him. And I said, no, you don't understand. I need more. You know, and he said, well, you know, blah, blah, blah. I said, I need his number. Give me this man's number. I'm not pushy like that, but I was. We needed those stones. So I tracked it. He finally gave me his number. The guy was in Tucson. I tracked him down. He kept saying, nah, I didn't really want to sell any more of these. And at the end, he met me in a parking lot, and he had them in the trunk of his car. So they all came out to us. And those stones were amazing. And this last year, a second group of them, not from the ones, they weren't quite as amazing as the first ones, but they're pretty damn good, of the root and branches come from the white sands back out into the world for all of us. And I have some of the blue. You've all seen them, or a lot of you have. They're pretty amazing and grounding, and bringing that energy of ancient tree into our world. Yeah.
Would you like me to bring some?
What?
You want me to go get a root and branch fellow? And
No, that's okay. They can go back. I don't know what our timing is, and I don't know, because they got me in at the last minute, and then Megan moved me around to get me this room. What?
It's only 3:34.
Oh, hell, we're doing great with time then.
Slow it down for you.
Yeah, thank you. We had one incident, and I think you remember when we were there for that one. I needed 15 more minutes before I could finish talking with everyone. And I said, well, I'm gonna ask the earth. We need 15 more minutes. Everyone in the room's watch stopped. We stopped the clock on the wall. For 15 minutes, we were all outside of time. And then it clicked back in. Yeah, so magic is absolutely real, and it's astounding. And all it takes is the grace and surrender of fear to heal what we've had in all of those memories and things of our life, is to be able to surrender. And surrender is the damn hardest thing you think you'll ever do. But it's the most beautiful when you do it, because it's like, oh, I don't have to hang that anymore. I don't have to deal with that anymore. I don't have to drag that around anymore. Whoa, that feels pretty cool, you know? Because believe me, you'll not probably rarely meet anyone who has walked in fear the way I have in my life. In every single way. And I spent until the last 20 years, and it's maybe the last 10 years. And I'm getting to the bottom of things now, and it's like, no wonder, honey, you were needing to feel protected and did not feel, and to feel so afraid. It's, they rule us, you know? And here we are coming together at a space this weekend, right now. I have been so excited that we're at this space where we're in a space to let all of that go, to set it down and not drag it with us. Yeah. So, yeah, Heddenbergite. Anybody else, guys? There's so much more to talk about. Let's do water. Okay, more element of water. Whale. These are, I have a few of these at the booth, but they're the inner ear of whale. And what, they're fossilized. They're very ancient ones. They're the small whales that were from the Carolinas. You know, they aren't not as big as we have now, but our ancestors were a lot smaller than we are now too. So, the inner ear is what it is a drum, and it makes the sound so that it comes in and bounces off of it, and they can hear it, and they can feel and hear the songs of their ancestors, so that they know where their families are. They know who their ancestors are. They know the whole histories of everything, because they're carrying all of that. They're the same, because they live in the water, the same energy of waters that the water carry, the same memories, all of it. They're totally, and I haven't gotten into it because I think my brain would explode, but I think, because I hear so much, but I think that if we went to any animal on the planet, it's obviously any plant on the planet, any stone on the planet, everything has its whole history coming into the world intact. And I think and the tree tells me that yes, we too, only we've forgotten and have to remember it. So I think the thing is the consciousness of everything on the planet exists at the same time, because it's been seeded that way. So we gotta get our asses in gear here. Yeah. These are pretty darn cool. You know what? I think they're, yeah. And at least one more I want to talk about, because this has started running the heat in my body so crazy that I just start sweating like insanely. It's called arfvedasanite. It's a stone that just came to me, and it is from Greenland, and it is throat, third eye, crown chakra, and holy mama. I didn't put it in the brew today because I've kind of played with you guys in the past. And we've had a couple of crazy incidences with the brews, so I'm much more cautious with what I put in. So arfvedasanite will not be going in, but it's pretty darn cool. It has flashes of blue when you use the ultraviolet light with it, the flashlight that I've got in there. It flashes blue sparks all over your throat. It's really, so just a note of what they are, because they're fun. You know what? What do I need else to be said?
What do you want to talk about, the sun dragon?
Okay, sun dragon. You probably remember. 30 years ago or more, it was one of the oils that I made. It was sun dragon, and it was for when you were having to deal with patriarchy in the world, men and women. That at your solar plexus, it would activate that, it would shield that, it was protective energy, and I hadn't made it for 25 years or more because I couldn't find the plant that went into it, which was from the Himalayas, and it was a really, really high grade of juniper, of Himalayan juniper. So something told me, now, you need to make it again now. So I got on and looked up, and I found a man who had a business that he was closing, and he had 2 bottles that were gathered by Himalayan native monks sacredly, and I bought them both, and this stuff is pretty darn cool. Do I have a spray here, or did we bring one?
We do
yeah,
have
there
it.
should be one on the basket.
It's in the.
Sun dragon in the basket?
It
No.
was on the tray.
Okay.
Here.
Okay, thank you. So let's spray a little of that around, because this smells so amazing, and
You want to do that?
no, I'm gonna give it to you to do it.
Okay.
That's better smell.
And the vibration of it is It's gonna cool me, oh my God, you feel the coolness with what that happened there? Yeah, this is high up, this is from. And I ask all of the plants when I work with them, I thank them. So I don't say I ask, I thank them because they leave their consciousness at a high space if I move myself up into that and I do what they ask me to do. It's never what I want to do because I make some pretty damn goofy stuff if I try that. And I so I stop doing that and I do what they ask me to do. But the vibration, it's the same, okay, this is the same thing. Let me put it this way. When I go to Tucson or anywhere where there's a stone show or there are people with stones, you have stones that are of a vibration that haven't been honored and gathered correctly. And so they're pulled their energy in and they're not working with humans and they're not happy about that. And you can walk through and there's dead zones. And you'll feel all of that. But when you go to someone, and the miners I go to, oh my God, my Simi, I love these families. I have 3 different families who are sacred gatherers of the stones. One the monks have come to, I've got a couple of little stones I brought from them. If anybody wants to look at them or feel them, holy shit. They're, the miners, it's from the tiger's lair in, it's not Bali, come on, it's a
Bhutan?
B word.
Bhutan?
Burma?
Oh,
Burma.
Burma?
Is it Burma?
Okay.
Yeah, okay. It's a tiger's lair, and it hangs on a cliff. It's an ancient place where the monks all gathered for healing of the earth. And they all went and meditated, and spent all those years in meditation for healing of the earth, healing of the earth. So they came to this family of miners and said, we have these stones that need to be out into the world, and if you are willing to gather them without any metal whatsoever, with only stone and bone, and if you will haul them down out of the mountains with no no cars, no anything, just by carrying them or burros or whatever, then we're allowing you to harvest these. And consciousness that is clear and has been, it's like if someone's been kind to you, you know? The difference between someone who's just, who has been mean and just ripped you out, or someone who's been kind and honors you and sees you for who you are, then you don't have to pull in. All of your vibration can be out into the world, your heart can be open. So these are stones that have come out with their hearts open into the world. And if you feel them, you're gonna go, whoa, I haven't felt that from a stone before, or I haven't, and I have a few of those people, it's just that I just adore and love, and yeah, so. I had been saying before this workshop the whole time, because it's from 3 to 5 and it's slow, I mean it's the end of things, that I was going to cut it short. And the stones just said to me, you said you're cutting it short. So they're throwing stuff at me. And but Megan had said, well, you don't have to worry about it being short, just gather your people around your booth and we'll still be there until you leave, they're here. And she was very, very kind about that. But they just said to me, you said you were cutting it short. So what were you saying, Ken? So I think we've, this is a new venue, and I'm so glad to see not only all of the faces that have been with me for so long, and I love you dearly, but all of the new people. This is really wonderful. And it's brought people out of my past that I haven't seen for 20 or 30 years that my heart has always been connected to. So it is just this has been the biggest blessing. And it feels really good in here. Slower, different, pretty darn wonderful to leave that energy behind of the convention center in Portland. It's peaceful, it's good. Yeah. So I'm saying that I think that all we really need to do here is you guys are cooked. We need to raise the vibration on the brew here, and if we can get the music to play correctly, I am going to play for you my first trip into the Amazon. I was drawn, it was the last one, fourth one, that I was drawn by dream. Okay, so I'm dreaming plants, and they're showing me a water world, and they're showing me, and they're talking, and they're talking. It was this amazing dream that wasn't a dream, and you know when those spirit dreams happen to you. And it was saying, we are the plants you need, and I would say, who are you? And they'd say, it doesn't matter. You know, this is, you need to come to us, and you will be getting us, you need to come to a place where we will be gathering, you will be receiving us in a way that you do not need to even know. You will be speaking a language that you don't know. You will be going to a place you have never been. And I went, oh, okay, how, you know, what do you do with that? So I went up to the house to tell Kate and Mary at their house to say, God, this dream of water world. And they were on my computer looking at my emails for me because I have a problem with computers being the energetics is just too much. So they were reading my emails for me, and I had a friend who's an ethnobotanist in Sweden, and I had been working on his mother who was having problems and was in the hospital there, and they couldn't find out what was wrong. So I had been doing healing work on her, and he said, I'm supposed to go to the shamanic conference in the Amazon, Peruvian Amazon, and I think you need to go. And here's the ticket. It was like, and the room just went, whoa, and exploded with energy. So it's like, okay, here I go. So I met this guy, and he said, yeah, I'm taking you up the Amazon because I've started this place and I'm bringing the grandmothers in from all of these different venues and different villages that they're the healers for those areas in the villages, and we're bringing them all here. And he said, and they want you to, I told them about you, and they want you to sit in a circle, and they have a gift for you. So I sat in a circle of them, and he said to them, this is a curandera from the United States, and the plants brought her here by dream and called her here. And my teacher said, she said, nya, 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 point your finger at me and at him. And then they had to translate from Quechua to Spanish to her translation, which was, yes, the plants called you, but make no mistake, we're the ones who called you here. You know? So I ended up in the circle, and they are singing their medicine songs to me that they use during ayahuasca ceremony for healing. And they each have to work very hard and can take their whole life to get to a certain point to be able to hold the power where the songs surrender to them, the plants, and give them a song. So that's their medicine. They don't give it away. But here I am, a big fat empath, and I got the spoon, and the songs are all going into me, and I got the medicine. So when I came back and made the medicine with it, all of their songs have gone into it. Mm-hmm. So it was a place I had never been, language I didn't speak, plants I was receiving in a way that I did not even need to know about. And so the whole thing happened, boom, 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 very whoa. And so do we have any of the spray here of the grandmother?
The grandmother's should be here.
Whenever I have the ends of testers, I throw them in bags for us all, you know, to do this with. So this is blue songs of the grandmothers, because it has the blue dragon to clear the energy first. And then we're going to play the music, and we're going to charge this brew, and I'm going to step back here with you. And those of you who use any type of healing modality, if you'll just aim your hands at this brew that we're doing, it already is kick-ass. It is, and we're going to fill it up all the way. And those of you who don't, do it anyway. Say a prayer, you know? And this is blue songs of grandmothers. time I'm gonna get around to all of you.
Wow.
And this is what the Amazon smells like. Totally. This is like when you step off the plane, only there's a lot more density and mold. Your clothes mold off of you. Everything. You sweat and mold. I'm just gonna go above you again. Sorry. This is what you're smelling in here too, is their tree of life. It is the tree of Palo Santo, and it is used in clearing of sacred clearing of energies. And it's pure songs of the grandmothers. Thanks, kitty. Did I get you right? Okay. Oh my God. I can hear them. I can hear the songs playing. I've not been able to do that with it. Can you, Robin? Do you know what I mean? The spray, their songs are right in it. This is the first time, and this is how far we're advancing this fast. I've never done this. I've never heard their songs. I felt them, but I hear them with this. Yeah, and these guys went with me one time too, so, yeah. The songs are audible. How cool is that? Okay, so this brew up here, we have, and I don't know how to, do you know how to do this? Have any of us ever learned? I touch electricals and the things go, we get songs playing on there that I don't have recorded on there. We've had all kinds of crazy stuff happen over there. There she is. Can we get higher? Volume?
The speakers on? Press the on button. Oh, it starts at that.
Yeah, okay. I'm coming back here out of the way of everybody too. And if everyone would, here, but you will all ground your hands onto the ground so that you can ground the energy. And we're going to pass this around for everybody. Did you go have your hands back like that? It looks like, whoa, it's out there.
What if we don't drown?
Ground yourself. Because the energy is for the earth as well as for us, John. Heddenbergite and the voices of water. Heddenbergite is bringing all of that energy in along the whole timelines into us. And we're going to walk out of here in a different place when we walk in. And water element, water. Go to the river, listen to those, yeah. This has just been too cool. I have never used the spray and audibly heard their voices. What a blessing. Okay. To the earth, to our mother, to all of you who are part of her and part of me, I thank you all and bless you. Bless you, bless you. Here we go.